रिस्क है तो इश्क है.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 4 of FYI Talks, Decoding Ideas. First of all, we hope that you all had as much fun and learning that we had while talking to Tushar in our last video. This time around, in continuation to the same, the jack of all trades as well as the master of all will actually share his first-hand experiences, will tell us about the challenges that he faced, the ups and downs in his journey, and also give his advice to startups and people that are still thinking to start up. So let's get started. What was that deciding factor which made you realize that you would not take the path which is taken by many, that is corporate? And also there are often risks that we encounter कि अब हम नया business शुरू करने वाले हैं, इसमें बहुत सारे risks आएंगे. So how did you ensure that the risks do not overpower that business credit which you have within you?
To answer that, I think I have been pretty much very clear about myself ki in which direction I have to go. Obviously, I never knew ki which sector I should go into, but one thing that has always been clear, I think from at least class 9th or 10th when I was in, from that time I have been clear ki I have to get into business. So that is something that I always had a very much clarity on. And as you like very well know, ki risk is something like the more risk you take, the more reward you get. Risk hai to isk hai, as we like listened in that कौन सा वो था इसमें
Scam
प्रतीक
1992.
हाँ स्कैम 1992 में. सो जितना ज्यादा रिस्क आप लेते हो उतना ज्यादा चांसेस है कि आप सक्सेसफुल होगे. एंड माय गोल वाज ऑलवेज बीन कि कि बाय द टाइम आई एम 26 28 आई शुड नॉट बी कि 2 साल 3 साल का कॉर्पोरेट एक्सपीरियंस लिया है और 2-3 साल का एक्सपीरियंस लूंगा फिर मैं कुछ सोचूंगा फिर मैं कुछ करूंगा. उससे बेटर ये है कि जब तक आई ग्रेजुएट और मे बी 2-3 years आफ्टर आई डू माई MBA I should already have 5 to 6 years of experience, and that is exactly what I did. By the time I graduated, I had around 4 to 5 years of business experience. It might not be very like big businesses, but at least I had some kind of experience, and it certainly helped me down the line. Every other business that I did, I think there were some things that I had learned in my previous startup or my previous experience which made the next one go one step ahead than the previous.
But with such a decision also comes social pressure. So basically we are asking this question because हम दोनों को भी ultimately business में जाना है. This is what we've decided. But as of right now, we are both in corporate, different firms, right? And there is some kind of social pressure कि मतलब business successful नहीं होता and you have to have some kind of experience before you go into business. So how did you counter that social pressure, or did you face any such social pressure?
Two things. One is कि ऐसा नहीं है कि corporate experience is not good. मतलब बहुत लोग जो स्टार्टअप करते हैं उनका बहुत लोग ऐसा भी कहते हैं कि you should not go for corporate या corporate is not good or you should drop out of college and straight away startup. So मेरा thought process वो नहीं है. My thought process is obviously everything is good. It all depends on person to person. What you want to do, what do you think your whatever you are planning, everything should align properly. So for me personally, I thought doing like studying for around 5 to 6 years, undergraduate, then postgraduate, then doing 3 to 4 years of corporate, whatever I would learn, certainly there will be a lot of good things. But I thought if I do my own startup, there will be 10-20 different things that I will learn every day. So that is what I wanted to do. As far as social pressure goes, I think being an entrepreneur, or even if you want to become an entrepreneur, thinking about social pressure, thinking about family, thinking about friends, what they will tell, if you do all of that, you will never be able to become an entrepreneur. Because those people are the same people. When once you become successful, they'll come and say कि देखा मैंने बोला था ना, ये तू बना ही है इसके लिए. So you have to choose your own path and believe in yourself and move in the right direction. Things will automatically fall into place. As Steve Jobs once famously said ki you cannot connect the dots looking forward, you are always able to connect the dots once you look backward. So that is a very great saying.
So what according to you is a good way to validate that if such idea, that if this idea can be converted into a business, or if this idea is something which is actually a gap?
So इसके लिए I think there is a very famous concept given by Mr. Simon Sinek. I'm not sure whether you know or not, but he's one of the pioneers of the world in startup and business and thinking as well. So he gave one concept called as start with why. There is a very famous TED talk on the same. I think he has also written a book on that. So I would suggest you ki after this session you go and watch that TED talk, and if you have the time, do read that book as well. So what he tells basically is ki a lot of people, even like more than 90-95% of people, entrepreneurs and startups, what they do is they start with what, कि हम क्या बनाएंगे, what is the product that we want to make, then they move on to how, कि हम कैसे बनाएंगे, and finally why, कि क्यों बनाएंगे. But instead what should happen is you should go from inside out. He calls it the golden circle, I think. So what he tells is you should start with why. Why do you want to do what you want to do? Then you move on to why, like how. How will you do it? And finally, what will you do? So that he gives the famous example of Apple. Why is Apple so religiously looked upon, and like people are fond of it? Why do there are 50 brands in the market, but when Apple launches a phone, there is a line outside the store in each and every single store in the world. So why does that happen? So because their why has always been clear, they want to innovate, they want to give like something new, and like their how is by giving a very great user experience and giving a smooth design, just a single button. So right now, just having a single button in a mobile phone is not a big thing. But and like the first time Steve Jobs introduced iPhone, at that time having one button in a phone was revolutionary. So having that kind of design approach, and finally by providing his products which like cater mobile phones, or which are like MP3 players or computers. So people buy because it is Apple, not because it is a good product. Certainly, it is a good product. And to answer your question specifically, I think you need to start with finding the problems that people are facing in and around you, and trying to solve it, creating a MVP, that is a minimum viable product, and then offering that to them, getting feedback from them, improving on that, and then again going back to the market. So that is how you can launch a product.
In the initial phase of starting up a business, how are the efforts divided amongst different departments? For example, is there a particular department, let's say be it marketing or sales, which requires the maximum amount of efforts? Or I mean, in your experience, how does this flow?
So when you are starting up, there is no department. You are the marketing department, you are the accountant, you are the advertiser, you are the founder, you are the CEO, you are everything. So while starting up, like you do everything. Especially there is no department as such, because departments are something that you have when you are a very large company. So as and when you grow, like 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 10 people, slowly you start to divide the work. But right when you are starting, then depending on how many people are in your core team, how many founders you are, you divide the job accordingly. But most of the work, like again, depending on the number of people you have while you are starting, most of the work is divided into the founders or co-founders only. And only when start with, after initial success or initial traction, you start hiring few people, you start hiring interns, or you start hiring full-time people. That is when you start dividing jobs into different segments, be it sales or HR or marketing, digital marketing, or telecalling, or IT. Owner of the company being the founder or the co-founder, you have to have your focus on all of the things. So you divide it obviously. Let's say on Monday and Tuesday I'll focus more on sales. On Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday I'll focus more on marketing. And what you do is basically you identify the core people within you, and you divide, like suppose you are very good at sales, so you take up sales. Your friend or your co-founder is very good at marketing, so he takes up marketing. Third person is very good at accounting, he takes up that. Fourth person is very good at IT or web development, so he takes up that. So all these people individually will be responsible for doing these tasks. But end of the day, like everyone sits together, they brainstorm ideas together. It's not like if I am doing the sales, I cannot talk about marketing. I can certainly give my ideas. We all work together, give ideas to each other. But end of the day, the person who is responsible for the particular task is the one who does it.
In your experience, how possible is it to start and manage a business along with full-time jobs?
So again, I would say ki it doesn't matter what I say ki whether it is possible or not. As you know, Henry Ford once said ki whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are right. So that is certainly on you and only on you. Nobody else can tell you whether you can do it or whether it is possible or not. And it is not like nobody has done it till now, and it will not be like nobody will ever do it. Certainly a lot of people have done it, more and more people will keep doing it. What matters is just what is the kind of dedication that you have, what is the passion that you have to do that is all that matters. If you have that and you have your heart at the right place, you will certainly move ahead. And I see you guys already doing that, so kudos.
Thank you so much.
We often hear and everyone say that the path to success is always full of roadblocks. There are multiple failures during the journey to success. So what according to you should a person ensure that a failure does not prevent him or her going up the ladder?
So I would say ki certainly there are a lot of failures. When you're doing startup, it's not like you fail one time. You fail almost every single day or almost every alternate day. There are small failures, there are small roadblocks and a lot of different things. But what matters is, you stay motivated. You like keep a close group of people whom you can talk to. Maybe every 2-3 days you can talk to, you can share the experiences that you are having, the tough time that you are facing, and share that with them, get some kind of support, and next day again you get back to the job and start working hard. Because end of the day, like everyone has a hard life, everyone is facing a lot of different kinds of trouble. So we cannot sit and say कि यार मैं fail हो गया, अब मैं क्या करूं. There is no this is not a solution. End of the day, you have to get up again, go back to the ground, hit a century and come back. So that is what matters. As you know, Sachin Tendulkar, Virat, Kohli both hit centuries on the day or maybe on the next day when their fathers died. So that is a very big thing. Not the game must go on. You do not. They did not even go to do the final rites that is done, because they knew that their father would have to care more the game. So that is the kind of passion. End of the day, it's all about the passion and your motivation and your dedication towards your work, towards your dream, towards your startup. That is what matters. If you have that, you will certainly get up in the morning and start moving.
You started and continued so many startups, right? So what is that one thing that keeps on motivating you to start another business? Because most people try and start only one business and usi pe focus karte rehte hain. So what is that one thing that makes you start something new?
So the main thing I would say is the problems, because the more problems I see, the more excited I get, and I start to look around ki how do I solve this? Because if I am seeing it, if I am facing it, certainly there are more and more people who would be facing it. So I go outside and try to find more people ki whether this is a very small problem or is it a very big problem. So accordingly, depending on how big a problem is, I decide ki whether one should get into it or not. And also looking on the business aspect or the business side of it is also very important, because being a Marwadi, end of the day, what I want to do is make profits. And personally, I do not believe a lot in the standard startup model that we in India or maybe around the world as well, the startup industry is following. That is, you raise millions and billions of dollars at very very high valuations, and you keep on making huge losses, you keep on burning investors' money in the hope that in someday in the future you will make money, you will become profitable. So I do not encourage and I do not like that concept very much. My concept is that you should be profitable on day one, if not day one, day 90, if not day 90, day 365. If you are not profitable on day 365, then maybe you need to work more or improvise on your business model.
That's it from this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this concept and if you want to know more about such unique business ideas, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button below. Thank you.